The journey was very exciting, very challenging. It was all about my passion, which I never realized would turn into a profession. I was very passionate about cooking, and that's why I joined Lady Irwin College. And Lady Irwin College taught me a lot. Cooking and writing are two different aspects. I knew how to cook. As a child also I was cooking, but when I did my graduation, I learned how to write a recipe. That helped me write my cookbooks. And after my studies, I got married happily. And once my children grew up, I started with my cooking classes, and then finally I got down to writing books. Now, I thought writing books was a very simple affair, just jotting it down, and very soon I would see the book in the market. But then this was not actually true. I wrote my book, I penned all my recipes very beautifully, and I thought I would give it to a publisher to publish the book. As I knew nothing about publishing, all I knew was writing, creating recipes that I was good at. So I wrote my book, my manuscript, and I went from pillar to post hunting for publisher, but there was none. Nobody wanted to publish cookbooks. As you know, in those days it was all about those glossy foreign cookery books which people wanted to buy. There were not too many Indian authors and just a few who ruled the cookbook market. And so first I thought I would give up, but then I was not the kind to give up so easily. So I thought, let me try my hands on it and let me publish it myself. Now, I had no idea about publishing, but I did know that a cookbook needs glossy and beautiful pictures to be picked up by the reader first, because I myself used to pick up a lot of cookbooks, and I would pick up the books which had beautiful pictures which would tempt me to make the recipe. So I hunted for a professional photographer, food photographer. The photographer came, we shot the recipes, the food and all, but when I saw the results, I didn't know the food shouldn't be cooked to the fully cooked stage, so I did it. Now from my mistakes I learned that it should be half cooked kind of, so that the colors are vibrant, because on cooking it does lose its color. So it was a very vibrant, refreshing photographs which I clicked, which I got the photographer to click, and I was very happy with that. Now the photography part was done, now comes the printing. I had no idea about printing again, so now to run to the printers. Today, I am at a stage when the printers come to me and ask me for work, but in those days I was not known at all and nobody trusted me, so I had to first arrange for the finances. I did break down my FDs, but then besides the money, there was a lot of effort getting the books printed. But then I didn't give up, and I finally did get the book printed. After the photography and the printing, the book came out well. I put it in the market. It was received well, but there wasn't a very overwhelming response for it. Like I would say, it just flew off the shelves. That never happened. Then, actually I thought why this book did not do so well. It was just a general book on vegetarian cooking. I thought maybe, it's today I realize that when one wants to do something different, it should be, things are successful when you do the same thing different, in a different way. There has to be something novel about the book, because the size was very well received, because it was very practical to turn the pages. And since I wrote the recipes in such a way, one side was the ingredient, the other side was the method, so it was very easy to follow. And for that I did a lot of spade work. I would go to different restaurants, try different paneer in Chinese style, in Indian style, in Italian style, convert recipes, foreign recipes to Indian tastes, and I made that book Paneer, and that was such a hit. It just flew off the shelves and it was really very well received, and after that there was no looking back. See, first of all, menu engineering, I feel the menu should be very user friendly. Like, you go to restaurants today and you see the menus and you don't understand a word what is written. Don't use too many technical words. You are making it for the general public, so make something which they understand. So I feel it should be user friendly, not too many technical words, and don't just make put very exotic things in it, because people want to eat the classics also. So you have to keep a balance of the classics and the adventurous customer. So as a responsible citizen of India, I feel the people should, since they are eating out so often, so frequently, the restaurant food needs to be healthy. So you need to keep a watch on the restaurant food that, you know, no too much oil is used, you are substituting yogurt for creams, you know, if not completely, a little bit of cream. Maybe if they were adding half a cup of cream in a dish, I would say add 2 tablespoons, add the rest could go as milk, you know, to balance the taste and texture. So you have to make the food healthy, so that, you know, because if they eat very frequently, since they are eating out very frequently, if the food is not healthy enough, you are not going to get repeat customers. Aaj peet kharab ho gaya, aaj heavy ho gaya, you know, you will not get that kind of repeat customer. So many times in the restaurant I have seen, you know, when they go back, when I am there in Ludhiana, people say to me, your food is very light. You know, after eating so much, you don't feel that bloating stomach. So it needs to be that. I was one of the very first few Indians who got, as a cookbook writer, who got an award. And it was, I never expected, you know, this book would carry the award. This is the one, the Indian cooking book. And now it's been quite a few years, and it gets reprinted and sold very well today also. And it was, you know, when I made this book, it was nice that good sense prevailed, and I, you know, converted the Indian measurements into the Western measurements also. So the book was good for the Western market as well as for the Indian market. And it had those Indian favorites like tikka, tandoori, which the Western people also like. And when this award was given, unfortunately I was not there in Paris, but then we were in Frankfurt later, and the chairman of the company of the Versailles Paris award chairman, he was in Frankfurt and he awarded us the prize there. There are many who are passionate about cooking, and they do try. Today it's very nice, we have so many openings, like, you know, in the TV we have all these master cook competitions and all. You should you know, go in for those things and follow your passion. But if you do not succeed, don't give up so fast. It's not, there's always never a silver spoon in front of you. You have to work for it. If you're lucky, you do it in the first go. If you are not, be persistent and keep trying. And if you're passionate and you give your 100%, definitely you'll succeed. Have faith in yourself, believe in yourself. You know, when you open a restaurant, I feel before you open a restaurant, understand your customer. Where are you opening the restaurant? For whom are you opening? What kind of customers are you going to get? So, like, you know, in Punjab, we did a few mistakes by which I've learnt. Like in Punjab, when I first created the menu for Ludhiana, it was all very, there were a few classics, but most of them were very exotic kind of things, which I thought people would love, you know. But I still realized that people still ate those classics only. Why? Because Punjab, Ludhiana has a lot of NRIs. People are still, when they come from Canada, from London, you know, they still have those butter chicken and tandoori chicken and dal makhani in their minds. And a few sarson ka saag and those things. They don't want to go and they want those curries and all only. They don't want very Italian and very Mexican kind of things initially. So, you know, you should understand what, you are not cooking for yourself. You are not opening the restaurant for yourself. You are opening for the people there. So, understand what the people want and do it accordingly. Microwave cooking is, you know, when I first bought my microwave way back, I realized microwave cooking is much simpler than cooking on the gas stove. Because see, when suppose you're making a halwa and you want to bhuno your suji, you have to stand in front of the gas and do it. You cannot leave the suji there, it will get burnt. Whereas in the microwave, you don't need to stir that often. You know, so even if you are browning your onions in the microwave, you don't need to stir that often. So microwave cooking is, if you understand the technicalities behind microwave cooking, it is relatively simpler and less demanding. Like, you know, in the meanwhile, while those 5 minutes are going on, you can do something else. You don't have to stand there. So I found it quite interesting, and I created quite a few recipes. Then our cookbooks also go with these companies like LG, IFB. We have our cookbooks going with their microwaves. I created recipes for them, and then I have quite a few of my own publication also in microwave.